This is 6 Minutes, the seriously international daily newscast. It's Friday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day, and I'm Anne-Sophie Goninet.
And I'm Jacob Shropshire. Lovebirds in Laos are headed out to romantic dinners tonight, while couples in Colorado are just waking up to heart-shaped pancakes. Here in the Worldcrunch newsroom in Paris, Cupid is on his lunch break as it's just past midday. These are the latest headlines. A Russian drone strikes the radiation shelter over a damaged reactor at Ukraine's Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Saudi Arabia spearheads Arab efforts to develop an alternative to Donald Trump's Gaza plan. And our daily quiz question comes to us from ancient Egypt. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Friday that a Russian drone with a high-explosive warhead had hit the radiation shelter over the damaged reactor at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the Kyiv region. Radiation levels had not increased as of Friday morning, and the strike caused a fire that has since been extinguished. No casualties were reported. Meanwhile, Zelensky is set to meet the U.S. Vice President and Secretary of State at the Munich Security Conference starting today.
Saudi Arabia is leading Arab efforts to develop an alternative to U.S. President Donald Trump's Gaza plan. Arab nations meeting in Riyadh this month are expected to discuss proposals for Gaza's future, such as a Gulf-led reconstruction fund, as a counter to Trump's ambition for a Middle East Riviera cleared of its Palestinian inhabitants. Following talks between Trump and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the White House on Thursday, the US and India agreed to resolve a standoff over tariffs and to start negotiations to clinch a trade deal. New Delhi promised to import more US oil and gas as part of the agreement, which came as Trump inked plans on Thursday for sweeping reciprocal tariffs affecting both allies and competitors.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said Thursday that her government wasn't ruling out filing a civil suit against Google if the tech giant didn't reconsider its decision to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America for U.S. users. Google Maps, which had updated the name of the location on Wednesday to comply with a U.S. executive order, has blocked reviews for the Gulf and appears to have deleted some negative ones. Now, let's take a closer look at what the international press is covering.
Trump's retreat pleases Putin, headline Polish daily Gazeta Wyborcza today, following intense global conversations around Trump's proposal to start peace talks with Russia. This came as the US Defense Secretary said at a NATO meeting in Brussels that the US would no longer be the primary protector of European security, instead focusing on competition with China.
At least 6 workers were killed and 25 injured in a construction site fire in the port city of Busan, South Korea on Friday. Hundreds of firefighters were deployed and managed to extinguish the blaze. While the origin of the fire is still unknown, local media have linked it to insulation materials stored on the first floor of the construction site. We have a piece from French economic daily Les Echos by a writer who isn't too happy about the introduction of Microsoft's AI chatbot into his word processor. Anne-Sophie, tell us about this opinion article.
French philosopher and writer Gaspard Koenig writes that he resisted updating Word on his computer for a while, and when he finally gave in, he didn't like the changes. He writes, "After duly restarting my computer, a multicolored fly appeared on my screen. Copilot, Microsoft Generative AI. It now sticks to each of my lines, offering to write for me. You're tired, Gaspard, says the fly. Just leave it to me. Trust me. I'm your slave. Give me an order and I'll do it. Your readers won't notice a thing." I answer vehemently, "Go away, Satan." Microsoft has just committed the ultimate sacrilege. It has forcibly introduced a robot into the heart of the creative process. This is the danger I always dreaded when AI, a formidable technology by the way, began to intrude our daily lives. We are getting used to delegating our ability to choose to the machine out of laziness or comfort. Yet a human who ceases to exercise free will eventually loses it, signaling the end of the modern individual.
We have a piece from Beirut-based outlet Diraj on the Syrian whistleblower known as Caesar, who helped expose torture and killings by the Assad regime. But now that Assad has been ousted and people know Caesar's real name, Chief Warrant Officer Farid Nada al-Madhan, some are accusing him of starving Syrians and worsening the economic crisis in the country.
And from Australian nonprofit network The Conversation, we have a piece on how Valentine's Day became industrialized, going from personal gifts to mass-produced greeting cards. The dynamic appeared in the 1800s and involves what scholars call manufactured intimacy, where expressions of emotion are produced in large quantities and then sold to people who are willing to pay for them.
We're wrapping things up with a quiz question today from ancient Egypt. What have researchers from University College London and the University of Ljubljana in Slovenia just found out about mummies? Is it A, they're an 18th century hoax? B, it should be pronounced mummies? C, they actually smell quite nice? Or D, some still have a heartbeat? The correct answer is C. In a study published Thursday in the Journal of the American Chemical Society, researchers revealed they used both chemical analysis and a panel of human sniffers to evaluate the odors from 9 mummies from the Egyptian Museum in Cairo that are as old as 5,000 years. The results of the mummy sniffing exercise show that woody, spicy, and sweet scents were detected, as well as floral notes potentially coming from pine and juniper resins used in embalming.
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press, delivered exclusively in English every day, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here next week. À bientôt!